Hi, this is Kevin at the Virtual Planetarium at Raritan Valley Community College. Welcome to our weekly Star Talk. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the Mars 2020 mission and the Perseverance rover. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about our moon. On April 11th, we're going to have a new moon. About a week after that, on April 20th, we're going to have our first quarter moon, and then the full moon of this month is going to be on April 26th. Now, like I said, we're going to be talking about the Mars Perseverance rover. About a month ago, we posted a video talking about the Mars 2020 mission. So if you haven't seen that yet, I'm going to put a link in the description for this video so you can go ahead and watch that. And there's actually a lot of resources online if you want to see how the rover is doing in real time. There's even a cool little map where you can track where the rover is and you can see the movements that it's taken. So right here we have just a screenshot of that, and we see each of these little dots is a date. So we can see how much the rover has traveled each day, and then of course we have the rover where it is on that day right there. So that's something really cool. I'm also going to put the link for that in the description for this video so you can check that out if you would like. But there is something really cool about this Mars 2020 mission besides a really neat new rover, and that is that this mission actually has a little helicopter attached to it. So here we have a picture of the Mars 2020 mission. So we have the rover, Perseverance rover, right up here, the big one. And then just below it, we have this little helicopter right here. This is called Ingenuity. Now, Ingenuity is a technology demonstration, so it's not really a core part of the mission, but we just want to check that this technology will actually work on another planet. This is a small little helicopter. It is about 4 pounds. And the rotors up here that we can see, these rotors are about 4 feet across. And that's because on Mars, there isn't really a lot of atmosphere, so we need bigger rotors to generate lift, even for such a small little helicopter like this one. The Ingenuity mission is set for 30 days. I think they're planning to have like 5 test flights. And all of these flights are only going to be about 90 seconds long. So basically it's just going to be hopping about 10 to 16 feet in the air and then coming back down. And it's really, again, just to test that technology to see if we are able to have a full robotic helicopter explore parts where the rover can't get to and get those close-up pictures that the rover can't get in like steep terrain and such. So it'll be really cool to see how that works. The neat thing about Ingenuity is how it traveled onto Mars. So it was actually attached to the bottom of the rover. Here we have a picture. So we have this is the bottom of the rover right here. We can see the wheels. And then this little box right here is where the Ingenuity helicopter is hidden. So to get the helicopter out of this storage, NASA first removed the covering, and then of course they had to move the rover so they wouldn't drop the helicopter right onto the covering. And then you can see here how the helicopter is just tucked in under the rover, which is pretty neat. So what they did first was unhinge the side and just kind of swing it down. Then, of course, the rover has to drive away, so it doesn't really stay above the helicopter because we do still have to test the rotors of the helicopter to see if they work. First, they're going to test them at like half speed to see if they turn, and then they're going to test it at full speed, and then they're going to test to see if they have liftoff. So this whole thing is a technology demonstration to see if this helicopter idea works on Mars. Ingenuity's first test flight is scheduled for April 11th at around 12:30 in the morning California time. So for us over here on the East Coast, it's going to be about 3:30 in the morning on April 12th. So if you don't want to be awake at that hour, you can always catch the post-flight press conference. It's going to be at 8 o'clock California time or 11 o'clock Eastern Coast time. Here we have a schedule of what NASA's planning to do. So on April 9th, they had a pre-flight briefing. On April 12th, they're going to have the broadcast like at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then the next morning at a reasonable hour, they're going to have the post-flight. So I'm going to post the links for that also in the description for the video. So you can check that out if you would like. Even if you don't catch it in time, the recording is saved so you can catch that afterwards. Now, like I said, Ingenuity is just a technology demonstration, so it's not going to be going very far. Here we have a picture of the flight zone. It's probably about 20 meters by 100 meters, so it's not a very big area. And again, it's just testing out the flight capabilities of this helicopter. Now, all this talk about Mars, but I don't think we've actually shown you where Mars is in the sky for a while. So let's show you how to find Mars in our sky. So here we have our planetarium sky. We are currently looking west. That is why we have that W right here in front of us. And this is set up for about 8:45 at night. So if you go outside around 8:45, this is just after it gets dark enough to see all the stars in the sky. And we see a few wintertime constellations. Actually, we can't see them very well, so hold on. Let me zoom in a little more so we can see the sky a little better. And I'm going to show you two wintertime constellations that you can use to find Mars very easily. So the first constellation we're going to find is that one of Orion the Hunter. Orion is very easy to find, very recognizable because of its belt. So if we start from west and we go up and to the left, we see a group of 3 stars right here. These are known as Orion's belt. Let me circle that for y'all. And this is probably the most recognizable part of the constellation of Orion. But Orion's supposed to be this big person in the sky. So he has these 2 shoulders up here, the belt, and then the knees. And then he's kind of got an arm in front of him and an arm over his head. But we don't really care about all that. We're just going to use Orion's belt. Now, if we were to follow Orion's belt this way towards the right, we would come to this bright red star in the sky. So this bright star right here is called Aldebaran. It belongs to the constellation of Taurus the Bull, which is another famous wintertime constellation. The Taurus constellation looks kind of like a little V shape right here. So if you look at this part of the sky, you'd see this little V shape of stars. And then it's a bull, so it's supposed to have horns. So if you were to extend this V, you come to these 2 stars up here. So these are all stars that are part of the constellation of Taurus the Bull. Now, right between these 2 stars, we have this bright dot right here. In the real sky, it's going to look a little bit reddish, and that's because this is the planet Mars. So if we were to zoom that up for you, we can see this is in fact Mars. So thank you so much for joining us on this Star Talk this week. We hope you learned something new. Hope you're looking forward to the Ingenuity flight as much as we are. It would be very cool to see how this works and see what that means for future missions. Again, we put the links down in the description so you can get more information about both the Perseverance rover and the Ingenuity helicopter, so feel free to follow those. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about space, because each week we put out a new video. Bye, and hope you have a great week.